every time. It's the same story, but it's gonna work. We're getting in. It's getting there. Supposedly, yeah. That's okay. Why isn't this? Oh, okay. This
Africa,
is no. Okay. Let's see.
Africa.
Yeah. Hi. Welcome, everyone. Now and then. Very happy to connect with you right now. Okay. Let me just stop this. Mute notifications for 1 hour. Yet. Thank you. I'm live. So, I hope you're feeling great. Very happy to be here. Oh, yes. See, I'm so that I even don't know what I'm do. I forget everything. Yeah. Yeah, let me have the socials out of the way. So yeah, if I want to, it's not a necessity. Okay. So here I can speak. I swear I can speak. I just just didn't come out. Okay, right here. No, I can't say it. I can't. So let's say something else. So welcome, and I'm very happy to be again. I'm repeating myself. Yeah, I'm just disconnected, right? I've been I had an amazing experience last week. Came back on Monday very early, and now I'm catching up with being back home. But yeah, I'm home very well, and everything seems again. No, everything changed again, and that's great. Evolution, and we evolve, and this is change. So, wow, like it's this is what we are here for, right? This evolution, this changing. We change and we attend to our change, and then we become something different, even though it feels quite could say feels the same. It's not. It's the habit, it's the memory that keeps it the same, but it isn't the same. It's really different. And yes. And so we enter into our new experiences in this way, right? We just perceive ourselves differently. We have new sensation, new experiences, and we express ourselves differently. Reality is different. Our relationship with the reality is different. And then we discover ourselves differently. We become able, it's not that we become able, we allow ourselves um, to activate new ways of being. And it becomes natural, it becomes normal to do things differently. And we quite even forget that we were not doing things in this way. Yeah. So last week I met for the first time in person Roxanne and a bunch of other people, creators, human beings, and not. And we had an amazing few days together. And so it was my not really first experience, but in this setting yes, and also in a setting where no one had any expectation or any outcome. We just came together. That's all we did. Nothing was planned. Nothing had to be done or not done. We just decided everything just in that moment. And that is in itself already a huge experience of difference, of change in a reality where we must express purpose. And when you go somewhere, you must have a huge purpose of everything planned, everything, right? Opposite to just go somewhere and be in the moment and experience your trip, your journey, just as it happens. And that's what we've done. Just sitting outside of the house and talking for hours and experience those moments. Yeah. And it's difficult to conceive that as a human being because we still have this purpose, full of purpose, idea of being, and now what am I going to do? Oh, today, what did you achieve today? Right? That kind of bullshit. So many humans are still expressing that, and let them, right? It's not a problem. However, that purpose, that achievement, it's not part of the game. We decided to make it part of the game as a purpose, as a purposeful life, as you have to suffer in order to have an outcome, to have a return, to be someone. Yeah, yeah. And you can see so many people expressing that. And that's their reality. That's what they express. However, now some of us, many of us, we know that that is not a necessity, that you can have a full life without expressing that suffering to get there. I can become myself without suffering. I can express myself without suffering for it. It's not a reward. I don't need a reward. I'm not rewarding myself for being good. I'm worth as I am. I don't need to win that worth. I don't need validation. And these days have been really revealing for me of many things, of myself, obviously, right? It's always a revelation for the self, even though often we try to pretend that we have learned so much about others. No, we learn nothing about others. We learn everything about ourselves. And then it relates to other beings. Yeah, of course, but it's right. It's being in a situation with other creators, being with co-creators, right? We are the people that were there and experiencing these people for the first time in the physical, and living with them for these days. There's the experience in itself, but also there is the learning of the self, and it was very interesting in noticing the topics that were recurring. The judgment. Oh, you're judging. The mirror. Oh, you're a mirror of me. Right? These kind of things were said many, many times. But here is the thing. That's my perception. In the sense, it really happened. I picked on them. That's what I mean. My perception. That had a impact, or I noticed it. And so this is why I noticed, right? I noticed. So it's what I took. That's why it becomes about self, right? I noticed that, and then listening to what is said and experience what is experienced, and learning to take in what there is to be taken in a sense, as right, as the experience, and just enjoying being there and enjoying the people. That's, I think, the main thing is just to enjoy the moment with no plan, no expectation, meaning that you don't need to be there and pretend to be. I mean, it happened. There were instances of that were happening, that I was noticing. People behaving in a certain way. Yes, of course, I noticed that. But is it important? No. Do you have to correct any of that? No, you allow. People are expressing what they need to express in the moment, and it's interesting. The need of existence, the need of hi Roxy, the need of saying I have a personality, of looking for that personality, and how that is appearing in the way people talk, in the way they express it, in the way they exaggerate things. The exaggeration of joy that is not there, so it's fake, but it matches the personality that they are trying to express. So it becomes that, and then I'm not right. I'm the trying too hard to be that, or to match what they perceive to be the spiritual way. Right? That's what I mean. For me, it was so interesting in observing, as that allows me in my work to have more data, more understanding, being able to deal with what is the concern in the moment of people that come to me and they ask questions, or they are. It's not that I'm trying to correct them or to change them, but I'm able to match what they are expressing, so that I'm able to answer, to handle the situation in a proper way. But I need to, right? It's like I need to have those examples. I need to see those things in the real life, so that I have the experience seeing these people. And I mean, it's not that it's not that I go there, to study people. That happens just natural. You are in a setup in this place with these people. They are there, you're there, and so you exchange, you create the moment, and then that moment brings you what is in that moment, the experience, and then you take the experience and you keep it with you, so that then that's where then I become able to understand what is happening. And then it was so rewarding in the discovery of myself, in observing myself, which is the first thing that I do. I always observe myself. I see myself as I am having my experiences, and that is very interesting in reading the room and understanding when the moment comes where you have to act, the moment where you listen, the moment where you feel, the moment where, right, what is the most appropriate, which is not acting a role of trying to exist through, oh, I have to say something so that I'm existing. Oh, I feel like I'm not here if I don't do this. I need to absolutely, oh, I have to speak louder so that they hear me, because if I don't exist. Right? This kind of things. And so this is behavior that I could have had all along, right? Growing up and all of that, because I don't felt like it was existing or that I was noticed. I needed to have, I had a part of me that needed to be noticed, to say, oh, I'm here, right? That kind of crap. So that's why when people behave in that way, well, I see that, I notice it, I know what they are doing, I know which personality they are expressing in that moment, that need of existing. But right, this is why these experiences of being with people and right is so rich, so interesting, is that there is the creation of the moment. We were creating moments together, and it's a coming together. So, well, clearly, right, we accept to be there because it's a coming together, and you create this space, this moment with those you relate the most with, even though you may not have met them ever before, which was not really the case, because we have been communicating on during classes quite every week. So it was already an open channel of communication, and for me, beside that, the biggest joy is to meet Roxanne in person. That's clear. I mean, Roxy, I'm wow. Um, and uh, and yes, and that's part of not having a outcome or purpose built up or forced in, is that the opportunity presents itself and you just go, and then you have your experience. Whatever led to that, who cares? Is that you're there in that moment and you experience it in that moment, and then you go with the flow. And even just saying, okay, I go, it's an opportunity to meet Roxy. And even if it had been for one day, well, I have that opportunity, well, I go, right? It's all. And even if it's then that you're there and you say hi and then you leave, well, isn't that enough? Do you need more than that? No. So you see, it's being there and then being in the presence of these beings. That's already enough. There is no need for anything more. The more, then it's part of the experience that follows, but that experience is possible because there is no expectation, because there is no need of more. Then you open avenues of opportunity, of potentials, and that is what it is. And then you change, and then you discover yourself, and then you, right, all of those things are possible and they happen. And And you remember people that you never met in the physical before, and now and then you allow yourself to know them, but to know them more than the physicality you are experiencing in that moment. You know them as beings and as creators. You realize, oh, this is a creator, and I know this creator. Of course, of course, I know this creator, right? It's and not just it's me, right? We are all one, so it's me. But that's one of the things that what was coming up so strong. It was the mirror, or the right. We are one, so it's me, right? Yes, true, but aren't you affirming that a little bit too much? Yes, it's you, but it's still you as a being. You have your experience, and what that mirror says, it's not you in the sense, oh, look, I see that you are expressing stealing. Oh, that means that I am a deep, because you're a mirror of me. If you're a stealer of, if you steal, you are, then I am. No, that's crap. That's not in that sense that you have a mirror. You have an interpretation. That's what you have. When I see someone else, I'm interpreting, and that's what belongs to me. It's the interpretation. So that's the mirror that we are talking about. It's the interpretation, because I don't know you. I know you, but I know me. And then we have experiences, and then I see you, but I see what I want to see, but I experience what I want to experience. In this reality, there's me, there's you. We all exist. We are all real. And I'm interpreting the experience. That's what belongs to me, the interpretation. You'll interpret it in a different way. So in the interpretation, I will see through you what I choose to see. And that's what belongs to me. But doesn't mean that you are that I am perceiving. It means that I'm interpreting it that way. Doesn't take away the reality of what is happening. Because I can see carrots, you can see, I don't know, strawberries. It's the same thing, but we are interpreting it differently. It doesn't have to go any further than I'm seeing myself everywhere where I want to see myself. My interpretation. That always belonged to me, what I'm interpreting. So there is too much weight in the mirror thing, where we're trying to make the mirror more than what it is. It's interpretation. It's not more than that. Because if I interpret someone as being something, doesn't mean that they are something. Because they are, I am. They are unconditional, as I am. The mirror thing is conditioning. But you see, these things are right. They come up. They appear. They are there. They are discussed. They are experiences, and then you go, and then I go with my interpretation. I'm hearing mirrors a little bit much here, but that's my interpretation. Was it too much? I don't know. I'm interpreting it that way. So for me, yes, it's putting too much emphasis in that Like we do, right? We're convincing ourselves because there is no one else to convince, right? But that's why we repeat so many times the same things, because by repeating it, we feel that, oh, that's true. That's true. Now I know it's true because I heard it so many times. Repeat it. I said it so many times. Aha. But is it? No, it's just trying to convince yourself, trying to make it true, trying to have a truth confirmed through what? The external, instead of confirming it through the internal. Instead of accept, I am, I exist, and that's all I need to know, and that's the truth, the final truth is that I'm here now, and I know I am here now. And yeah, another thing that was very interesting is it was the repeating of judgment. Am I judging you? Is this judgment? Oh, I'm not judging, but I'm judging. Of course you're judging, because we judge. Why shouldn't I judge? Of course. If I didn't want to judge, I wouldn't be able to judge. Judgment wouldn't exist, but judgment exists, is part of the game. So do I have to run away from judgment? No, it happens. I'm judging, so I accept judging. Every time I try to resist anything that is in my reality, I'm resisting myself, I'm resisting creation. So there is something there that I need to attend, because when I am resisting is because I do not accept my reality as it is. And reality happens exactly as it has to happen. I accept my moment. My moment is this. I create my moment. So if my moment is this, I made it. So what I do with what is here now, I take it and run with it. When I don't do that, I'm resisting reality. I'm opposing reality. I'm opposing myself. So when I oppose myself, what happens? I'm not in alignment with myself. I'm not accepting myself. I am not here and now. I'm in opposition. And remember, from the point of view of the creator, eating an apple of being grape is the same thing. It's an experience. We judge it. One as I'm feeding myself, and the other one is I'm being abused, which is a truth. Both are true. There is no denying that from the point of view of humanity, from the point of view of human. But again, if the creator didn't choose to have that experience wouldn't be there. So I choose to have it. And I don't care if you disagree. I don't care if that think of negativity is what you are, or duality, or I will never choose to be raped. Okay, you will never choose to be raped. Great for you. So why does it happen to people? No one will choose that. Then why is it happening? No one will choose to have an abortion. No one will choose to be amputated, or to be in a war. No one will choose nothing of that, and still it's happening. So what do? I won't choose that. So why it's happening? Who's choosing to have that? Oh, not me. So someone else is choosing that for you? Really? Someone else. So you are here for someone else? Who is that is in charge of you? Name it. Tell us. Clearly, you are refusing. Right. Okay. Then go away, because this is not for you. You're lost here. Anyway. I choose my reality. I create my reality. So um, again, from the point of view of the creator, there is no going into anything else. I put it there because I'm creating that, because I choose it to be like this. This is my creation in that sense. I put it there. So just go with it. There is no other way, right? We Bashar said it, right? With the formula that they gave us. You go into your moment in expressing it at the highest, in the highest way of passion that you can, letting go of any expectation of a outcome from it, right? The thing that is not said in the formula is that your moment, your reality that you are expressing in this moment is your highest passion, because it cannot be in any other way. You create it. It's your creation as a creator being. So I'm creating my reality, right, my here and now, and that's what I'm expressing. So I cannot express anything else than my passion in that moment. Now, there are obviously belief systems. There are many things that are going through that, and there is need, and there is this, and there is that, right? So absolutely. Would I create myself working if I had the choice? But you see, I'm going into choice. I'm not giving myself the choice of doing anything else. So I'm interfering with that, or I'm saying, oh, I have to create this way because, oh, I have to go to work anyway because, yeah, I need the money. Yeah. So it's still your passion in that moment, because you are still doing what you need to do. So you are still creating what needs to be created, and there you go. But then, and that's where the formula comes in, is that there is another way of doing that, and that's the way of the passion, that is in alignment with you, the human, that is expressing creation in a certain way, or accepting creation in a certain way, where you have filters, and where you have to choose what is really my passion. Is it work? No. Then if it's not work, let go of work. Because you can earn your living doing your passion. Passion is not something that is starving you. Passion is something that you express as passion, and you can make money out of it. How we certainly can. But then, as we don't perceive it as working, then we are tending to diminish the meaning of it, the value of it, because, oh, a artist painting and a painting is their passion, then they cannot sell the painting, because, my goodness, it doesn't feel like working when I paint. And who cares? you understand that seeing things like that, it's a way to just take away your value, say that you have no worth. It's your passion, it's part of you, so that's your worth. If you think that the only way to make money is to go to work 9 to 7, or 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's valuable because that's effort, and that when you can paint, it's not effort because it comes natural, or it comes from another. Yeah, but that's a belief system. We have belief systems like that. We are fucking around with these things that are holding ourselves in a structure, and then, well, there are other ways, and we are now expressing these other ways. We have come into the understanding of these other ways, so let's express and let's accept that. Let's go with that. What's wrong with saying passion can give me a living? Passion is part of my abundance. Passion even if it's not, if it's effortless, it's great. Let's go for it. Yeah, and you can say I've been passionate about this and I just went with it. But that's what it is, right? Passion. Express your passion. Go with your passion. Your passion can be being a flight attendant. It's your passion. You do it as a passion. Is that work? No. It's a work, yes, but not anymore for you because that's your passion. You see, it doesn't feel like working, doesn't feel like being a slave of a situation where I need to go there because, oh gosh, I need the money, right? That is where you are in that position of corporate America enslaving yourself in the situation because you're doing something that no fucking way you would do if you had the choice. But here is the thing, you have the choice. You fucking have it. Until you say you don't. And then, yeah, of course you don't. But that's your choice. It's not made by someone else. It's made by from you. That choice is yours, not someone else's. Yeah. Right? Yeah, so I came back with a lot of material, with a lot of enrichment, and the first thing, obviously, that I have with me is the human relationship. I always say to myself, there is one thing that will always get me, and that is the human relationship, the humans behaving in the human, but human way, which humanity is putting the human first, so that that unity comes is expressed, where we, and that's also where you see the reflection of you, is that you are a human being and the mirror is that you are watching another human being, and there we are all one. So there is a connection, even if you never met them, it's part of you as part of the all. So the being nasty for being nasty, right? The opposition, the war, those situations that are situations that are opposing human to human. That's something that is well interpreted as resisting humanity. That's how I'm interpreting it. But however, right, that's the feeling of it. And whereas coming to the one, realizing the one, for me, it's when we express the human unity, the one, and we allow ourselves to have those experiences of recognizing we are connected. So that's where I'm very, yeah, that's where I feel the love of of human, the love of the one, right? That appears to me. And so in being having this experience of finally being connected personally, physically with Roxy, with Tommy, Tommy that I've always felt just outside the camera, being there, and now meeting him, and also, oh, I mean, Eric Nan, or right, Omar, I hope I said it right. James, right? These people coming there. Oh, Yes. uh, Lucia, I think Lucia is one of the, I've been aware of Lucia the longest of everyone. Yeah, I think so. But I mean, having this experience with this being that came there, that's the best part of it. Seeing the differences and the connection, and really, yeah, coming out of 2.5 years, right, of separation, that's even better right now to have these experiences and to start again to connect and let go of this fear or this awkwardness of um, being in society, right? Being with other people. Yeah, that is that is something. That is something, people. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, it's amazing. And then the environment and everything, and I have to go now. I have to take a moment to just talk. Right, Roxanne. Wow, what what a being, what a enlightener. Well, right, I knew, right, I know. Then there is the physical reality coming together in the physical and experience. You experience it at another level, even though you can say, well, there isn't really a difference, because even though because right, our separation is in the illusion. When we co-create together, we literally come together, and it doesn't matter if you do it through a computer or anything high Dave. It doesn't matter whether you do it right through a computer or in person. Oh, I have to ask about the books. Yeah, I have to ask about books. Yeah, um, because right, creation happens that we come together. That's the base of creation. However, in the physical, there is a difference. That you feel like a difference of physicality, of being in the present, right? And I felt that so amazingly in spending that, let's say, quality time. A little bit off. But yeah, um, and in every way, in of the sense, this experience of experiencing Roxanne in the physicality, being with her, um, yeah, is so beautiful. You see, you realize, you understand why is that some of us, we have, our light is so bright, why some of us are attracting so much. It's, there is no reason other than the light, the enlightenment, the being, the self. the truth of the self, of this being that is true to itself. And then it attracts. That is attraction. Attraction, you need to do nothing. It just happens. And Roxanne is that, is that light. And then it happens. Because even though you may experience her through her videos and all of that, right? With the strength of her expressing herself, the direct way of coming at you with what she's saying. Even if you experience her in that way, there is one thing that I always have noticed is the deep expression of love in the unconditional. I think I channeled once about this. I had something about how we express the unconditional. The human then put conditions on it. So love is unconditional first, and then we try to condition it. But when you do that, you are in the human side, and it's the unconditional stays unconditional anyway. It's when you try to put conditions over conditions that you fall into. But anyway, that was the thing. And with Roxanne is that you feel that unconditional, that expression of unconditional love that she has, and it's there and never goes away. Even if she has to kick your ass, it comes from, well, in obviously not really, but that's where it comes from. And so I've learned to see that, to experience that reality, that truth of her, that love, that unconditional. And so, yeah, for me, that experience, what an experience. And then it goes beyond, right? Because one has always to remind themselves, yeah, I did it. So it's a co-creation. I'm part of the creation. So this is also the attraction, right? I'm also attracting. So you realize the self. These experiences really, if you allow yourself to have them and to go through them and to be what they are, then you realize yourself. So it's beautiful. And I think that right now, for me, this is coming together. And I'm very, very happy. And it was really a discover of how comfortable I am. I didn't think that will just be expressed, but I expressed being comfortable in that situation in a way that and just being myself, being able to exchange and enjoy it and just enjoying the moment. And I think that this is what becomes really important now, peeling away everything else and then living just the moment as a pure expression of joy, happiness, which is not happiness, it's just joy. That thing, right? unconditional, expressing the unconditional. And in the unconditional, then, yes, you can condition yourself with emotions, with human, right? As long as it comes from the recognition of the unconditional, then you can have the experience in the purest way. It's when you try to condition it with outcome, results, then it becomes something else and complicated. Conflicts or oppositions, etc., etc. But fine, okay. That's still the experience. And so for me, that has been the expression of change, of feeling that right now I'm feeling different. The reality feels different. My technology that I'm using feels different. Um, and the sensation last night, I was expressing the physical reality, but at the same moment I was expressing non-physical, or being in two places. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Extra dimensional, being in two dimension at the same moment, in two realities at the same moment. The physical, and then another where I could have the sensation of what was happening. I felt something falling on my chest, and as I tried to see, is something there? There was nothing in the physical, but I could feel that like a big wire that was on my chest, plus other sensations, and there was nothing, there was no one, and by the way, that was also something that I was experiencing as we were in our retreat. I was feeling things falling, or being touched, and there was no one touching me, or things like that. Presence of other being, yeah, of course, but that's not something new. But the sensation of the unseeable now becomes physical, let's say like that, where there is, yeah, this physical contact in feeling, being touched, or so that's an evolution. And as last night I was there like that and said, well, what is happening? I have no fucking idea. I don't know what is happening. But I said, okay, I asked what's going on, and say, well, we are just checking on you, just, it's fine. I said, okay, fine, do whatever you have to do. And it was interesting to have this happening in this way. I never had this experience this way before, because, but it was really like, okay, we're taking you physically, but at the same moment, we don't need to remove you from where you are. We just do our checks on you. Because as multidimensional beings, we don't have a position, or we are already existing in all of that. And then I realized one thing that it's very interesting, that I was not seeing like that before, is that we do not exist in time. We are in time, but time doesn't exist as a standard. We create time, which means that I don't exist in time. I enter time, or I use time for this reality, but that's all it is. So I exist also outside of time. which is right. What we tend to do is to say, well, Max as a human being, well, Max exists in time. So I put time together. So I create myself and then I create time as part of the standard um, reality of human. Okay, well, no, I also exist out of time. That's me. Because I don't need to create time. I'm creating it as a human standard technology that is expressed as human. But I don't need to do that all the time or all the moments. The moments where time is not needed, well, time is not present. So yeah, I do exist out of time. What I call out of time, it's not out of time because again, time is not a standard, so we do not need to create ourselves out of time. We just don't create time. So those experiences are totally happening, and they do not need time. So we exist in those moments too. Yeah. I was just not making the connection yet. And now I see how I exist out of time. But as a human, the human experience, the memory of the human experience, well, there you see the time. Their time is happening. So so I realized that this made me understand the change, the new reality, or the new beginning, as I was writing there, the change that I'm going through, that I am expressing. I've changed myself. So what does that mean? It means that I'm vibrating differently. I'm a new vibration. In my evolution, which gives me access to new or other opportunities or of using my technology, my awareness, my body, my everything. Right? That's part of these shifts that we have for ourselves, and they happen, and I'm aware of it because I'm aware. But this happens to every one of us, and then we forget. We start doing things differently, and we just forget that we are doing them differently, or that we are accessing a new technology, and we forget that we were not using it before. It feels like it has always been like that, right? It's like when how did they do without AC? Well, they didn't know AC. It's now that we think, well, AC that must have been always existing, because how do you live without that? Well, you just do it without that because it's not there. No one knows about it. But then you have the impression that you cannot live without. Right? It's something like that. It's that the new technology come in, you start using your new technology, your new body, the new sensation that you have with it, and you have the impression that you had that forever, and that everyone is using the same, doing the same. Well, yeah, just because. But that's what we do as human beings. We think that our point of view, our ethics has to be applied to all of history, forgetting that it's just the now. We're applying that now in other nows, in other era, in other moments that it was different. So things were seen differently, and that's fine. but we have to apply our today everywhere, and obviously it doesn't work. But then that brings what? The perception of things, of history in a certain way. So we shift that way, and then it doesn't work really. We create a confusion, and judgment. But anyway, I was talking about judgment. Did I go through that? I don't think so. Yeah, I was saying about judgment. You're right. What about judgment? Yeah, the thing about judgment is that in the end of the day, that's part of, it's there. Use it. Don't be ashamed or fight against the judgment that can happen in the moment. Accept it. Release it. If you resist the judgment, you are in opposition with your moment. You're in opposition with yourself. That's what it is. And so you are not accepting the self. You are fighting yourself, etc., etc. No. Judgment exists because it exists. We are comparing, we're checking, we're seeing, we are having experiences, which is also judgment. Don't fight against yourself. That's the final light of that, the final word about that. Don't fight. When you oppose yourself, you're in opposition. Very simple. You are opposing yourself. You are opposing your creation. If it happens, if it's there, it's in the moment, it's that it's relevant in the moment, you're creating that in the moment, be it, accept it, and then release it. Once it's done, and you will not come back to it ever again because it's done. If you oppose it, you will be staying in it. You are keeping it. The opposition is holding you in that. So you will keep coming back to the judgment. It's the experience, nothing else. Yeah. And once it's done, and it goes. Because you accepted it. When you oppose the self, and it's a self, it's a moment, it's a self, it's a you having that experience. If you oppose that, you are opposing yourself, because that's all you're doing. You're judging, then you are feeling guilty because you judged, and so the only thing you're doing is that you're judging yourself then. But that's always the case, right? Anyway, if you do that with love, it's always a different way to do things, and you accept it and you love yourself exactly as you are, as expression of you and of the best way you can ever be. Yes. Hi, Dave. So there we are. Reality, or let's say being a human, expressing the human reality as we are in this moment is awesome. It's absolutely amazing. And we forget, as we jump into it, we forget that we can have fun with it. It's not supposed to be sad or fighting, or right, it's not supposed to be anything in particular. It's an experience after the other, and the suffering is not something that it's not a standard. We are not achieving this because we are suffering or any of that, right? It's an experience. That's all it is. But the thing is that in that we forget that fun can be part of this experience, and this experience is fun, and we are fun. Really, very often we are so funny because we are so caught into this illusion that at the end of the day we're funny. We're just fucked up, right? And so hilarious. But that's the thing, is that have fun doing the job, doing yourself, evolving yourself. It's not serious. It's not. There is, right, being serious is the expression of whatever, it's a belief system where I have to be serious. Oh, I have to be really concentrated, and I have to take this at that level of seriousness, because or if I don't do that, I'm not doing it right. No, no, fucking no, absolutely not. Have fun, smile, laugh at yourself, laugh with everyone else. Be just you, be just in that thing, right? And having fun doesn't have a structure or a way of being expressed. Just be it. It's also a way not to get caught into it too much, and then becoming a sort of guru or a sort of judgmental piece of shit that has an idea of things that have to happen in a certain way. If they don't happen in a certain way, it's not doing it right. There is no right, there is no wrong, there is only your way. Express your way, and your way can have fun in it. It doesn't have to, but it can. And then the moment will be whatever the moment is, right? There is no need for anything, it just happens. What we see is that there is a lot of intensity sometimes in the humans. So much of it where you can just allow the fun to be with it. And so let it be there. It's not wrong if you are having fun. Because when you have structure, when you give yourself, oh, the experience has to be like this, like this, like this, or it's wrong, or oh, I didn't do it this way, oh my goodness, it's gonna come, oh, I made a spell and I forgot this word, the spell doesn't work. No, shut up, stop. No, there are no standards. And you cannot forget anything. If you do something in a certain way, perfect. Maybe you just need to redo it or to change it, and maybe you forgot because you need just to relax and to see that there is no structure. So don't give yourself a structure. Don't put yourself in a prison. Don't become a prison. Oh, that's better. Don't become a prison, while you are the prisoner of your reality, of yourself. There you go. So we're back from our back. Yeah, we're back. We can say that. We're back from our trip experience, and we had a lot of fun and with everyone. Ready for the next one. For whatever comes along, right? Then the other thing, the last thing I'm gonna say, it's that when you have an experience, do not make the experience, then don't hold on it, in the sense that that experience is unique. Then you'll have new experiences. Remember, new experiences. You can never repeat your experience. Yes, Dave. That was, yeah, of course, Dave. I need. Can you give me the reference for your books? I forgot to ask you. No, I didn't forget, but I wanted to ask you. um, yeah. So that the next time you are open to something new, if you hold the experience as right, the experience that you were having, the old experience, the experience that you had that the experience is done. Now you have a new one. Be open to the new, so that that happens. All right, let's get. I have to go back to the tomato sauce for the spaghetti I'm doing. I preparing the sauce, and you have, and that's it. So thank you for joining in. So much fun. I'm very happy to connect with each one and every one of you, and I will be seeing you in the next now. Love you. Bye bye. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.